moving on to the month of July, New Japan had a G1 special, and it was in Long Beach, California. Um, it was called G1 Special in the USA, where Kenny Omega became the inaugural U.S. champion. I didn't watch the whole
Also,
tournament. I just watched the final match.
I would like to thank all of y'all who have stayed through this long. I know it's a long video, but we're going very in depth here.
Yeah, you got to. This is the year in review. You got to break it
Yeah,
down month by
it's
month.
it's 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 a long video. I understand it, but just stick with it, okay?
But
Yeah, I didn't watch much of the G1 special. I did watch the Omega match because, of course, I fucking did. It's Kenny Omega. The dude puts on the best matches in the ring, and even his promos outside are really good.
and Ishii was just sitting there and just taking like every shot Omega had.
Oh yeah.
I think Omega hit like 20. Uh, um, dang, I can't remember what he called his knee, but I know
Uh,
it's a shout out to Street Fighter. Dang. But anyway, yeah, he hit a
yeah.
bunch
I'm
of moves
sorry,
really
I'm
good.
blanking. I know what move you're talking about.
Yeah.
This is okay. This is how you know I'm not that big of an Omega fanboy. I don't know his moves by heart.
All right.
Okay, I like the guy. I'm not that big of a fanboy.
But yeah, I think that's innovative for New Japan to bring a United States Championship around so that
and
they
it,
can come back
and
to
here's the
Japan.
thing: Omega's match was good in both, and also was Okada's match.
Mm,
Okay, they were both really good, and it's proven that there is a marketplace over in the USA for New Japan.
right.
You know, that to me was the biggest takeaway from this tournament was there is a market overseas for New Japan wrestling.
Especially the fact that I don't think they even thought that there was because I think the venue that they tried to initially book was only like a 2,000, 3,000 seater or something like that, and they ended up
Yeah,
getting a 20,000 seater.
yeah.
So goes to show you.
It
But we're
goes
gonna
to show
run
you, man. And hey, it's still growing. That's just it.
exactly.
Like this is why it's great to be a wrestling fan now, is because there's not just WWE. There's all these other all these other promotions.
Hmm.
You know. Speaking of other promotions, Slammiversary.
We're gonna quickly run through this because Impact had a horrible year, and I'm
Oh,
just still trying to figure out how they're even afloat still.
I don't know.
But
I
yeah.
really don't. Like, part of me doesn't want Impact to go away because to me they have some really good character wrestlers,
Mm,
and they do have some good legitimate contenders. Like I said, Ethan Carter III and Bobby Lashley. You know,
yeah. So Jarrett's company, GFW, and why Jarrett even came back to
I
Impact,
don't
I don't
know.
even know.
The whole thing with Jeff Jarrett is just the whole thing is with Jeff Jarrett is like if Jake the Snake Roberts, before he got help from his like alcoholism and whatnot, tried to run a company.
Right.
You know,
I don't know.
I
But
don't know either, man.
GFW and Impact ended up merging, so all the titles were on the line where they merged the titles. The tag team titles were won by LAX, which I forgot the two members, but Conan and Homicide were at ringside during the match. Um,
Sienna defeats Rosemary,
mhm.
which was a good match. I did like a good match. I didn't like the interference, but the actual match itself was good.
Mhm.
Mostly because I do like Rosemary as a competitor. I like Rosemary.
Yeah.
You know,
And then Alberto El Patron
Trump
defeated
defeats Bobby
Bobby
Lashley.
Lashley for the GFW championship.
Who are two really good workers. You know, like it kind of sucks what WWE did with Alberto El Patron because it's like they gave him the championship, they rushed him, and then it was kind of they didn't really know what to do with him, so we'll knock him down to mid card. You know, and then he was kind of a dick backstage. So it was like no one really wants him here.
Right.
You know, and then like I said with Lashley, they just kind of rushed the top
Mhm.
because he was big, and Vince likes his boys big.
The the downfall of Alberto El Patron in WWE was when they turned him face. They should have never
Yeah,
done it. If they'd have just kept his Mexican aristocrat gimmick, with Ricardo Rodriguez and everything, I think he would still be going today in WWE as a top main eventer.
Probably.
Well, on to no.
On from a year of pay per view of shit to another pay per view of shit. The Great Balls of Fire.
Pretty much the worst pay per view name I have ever heard of.
I don't think they're bringing it back for
They
2018.
shouldn't. They really shouldn't.
I don't think they are, which is good. Because WWE is kind of, I think, announced that they're trying to cut back on pay per views this year.
They need to because we had like 24 pay per views last year.
Yeah. They're trying to cut down on pay per views. Like, they're still going to do the main four of Rumble, Mania, SummerSlam, Survivor Series. But, like, the other individual ones of, like, for the brands, they're kind of going to try to cut. Which they need to, because you can't really do that good of a build in 3 weeks.
Exactly.
You know?
Which I never understood why they did that anyway last year. It was like it was too much wrestling. Like everywhere you look, there was it's a pay per view this week. Oh, I forgot. I didn't know.
Honestly, here's the thing. July, besides the New Japan and the USA, pay-per-view wise sucked.
Yeah.
Impact Slammiversary sucked. Great Balls of Fire sucked, and Battleground sucked.
Yeah.
Because Great Balls of Fire, the most important things that happened out of that was Enzo and Cass broke up. Okay, we knew this was coming. And then Reigns fucking tries to kill Braun Strowman with an ambulance.
That was hilarious.
I just love it that, like, Roman pretty much commits murder and then just walks away like, yeah.
And the thing is, Braun won the match, but it's just like Reigns was just furious after the match and just kept attacking Braun.
But here's the thing. That I would be okay with that if it wasn't the stupidest thing with with Braun and Roman this year. No, they said we can out stupid ourselves.
And that happened, I think, like the following couple of episodes of Raw after Braun came back and he attacked Reigns during the interview and stuff and flipped the ambulance over and all that stuff.
Which, to me, that was the stupidest thing they've ever done this year. Because you can tell, okay, one, Braun's not doing it. You can literally hear the machine pulling it over.
Exactly.
You know? It's like, come on, guys. Like, I had you up until, like, once Braun was beating him up and just destroying him and then threw him in the back of the ambulance, I'm like, all right, that's good. You could have just walked away. No, we have to outdo ourselves. We have to prove that Braun Strowman is a monster. So we're going to make it to where he can pick up an ambulance and tip it over.
Well, to me, it birthed one of the catchphrases of the year. I'm not finished with you.
I love Braun so much. He's so great. that was a great moment, and I forgot who. I think it was Samoa Joe versus Apollo Crews, where Crews tries to back Joe up in the corner and then do like the running knee. Joe literally catches him and throws him. And as he throws him, the mic picks Joe up saying, "Sit your bitch ass down." I'm like, that's the Joe we need.
Yeah.
Oh, that was great. I was so happy the mic picked that up. Bitch ass down.
We saw the return of the Great Khali.
Oh my. And we saw the return of the Great Khali in one of the worst gimmick matches ever.
Yeah. I don't know why I really don't know why they even.
Because the gender experiment failed.
Yeah, but still, we could have done without the Punjabi prison.
We could have. And I get it. The whole reason was to bring back the Great Khali, but it's not like he sticked around.
One night only.
Yeah. All right. Leading up into August, you have the New Japan World Wrestling G1 Climax, which was great.
Awesome tournament where Kenny finally beat Okada, but Okada, I believe, only had like 2 losses this year. but Kenny wasn't the first
I
person
said
to
no, no,
get his
no.
loss.
I think Okada's record this year, up until because I don't know if there was a pay per view or like a match this month,
Mm.
but I know coming into December it was 7-1-0, and his only loss was to Omega.
He lost to Evil as
Yeah,
well, and
Evil, yeah,
Evil
but
beat him first, and then
Omega,
Omega
but
beat
he
him.
only lost twice. He won every other match
Yeah,
this year.
which is incredible.
Yeah, like you'll never see that in WWE nowadays.
Oh no,
You will never see that. You know, they are all for breaking streaks.
especially putting on the type of caliber matches he did. Like all of
Oh yeah,
Okada's matches were over 50 minutes.
yeah, they're over 50 minutes, which you can tell. Like, oh, you can tell if Okada, he's pretty much a ticking time bomb because the you can tell he's definitely damaging his body,
Mm-hmm.
and I don't know how much longer we have before he eventually gives out. But he's still putting on 5-star matches.
Oh yeah.
You know,
But the story of that night was Naito beating Omega in the finals, and now Naito will get a shot at Okada for the IWGP Heavyweight Championship at Wrestle Kingdom 12.
yeah, which is going to be very interesting going into Wrestle Kingdom because of what happened later on throughout the year.
Mm-hmm.
Jumping back over to the States, Takeover Brooklyn 3, which Sanity pretty much beat the Authors of Pain,
Mm-hmm.
which I was happy for because I like Sanity.
I
You
like
know,
Sanity too. I love Eric Young.
I like Eric Young. I'm so happy Eric Young's in NXT.
Yeah.
Like, Eric Young was one of the best things with Impact,
Mm-hmm.
you know? And now that he's over here on NXT, it's really great.
And then
McIntyre
returning Drew
returned.
McIntyre.
Yeah, which was
Goes to show
great.
you what they can do when they leave. Because McIntyre was hot when he hit the indie scene. He was everywhere.
Oh, yeah. Oh,
He
yeah.
was
Everybody
everywhere.
hated McIntyre in his original run,
Mm.
you know? And then even when they stuck him with 3MB, it's like, okay, he's just a jobber. He left, went to the indie scene, blew the fuck up, then came back, and everyone was like, oh, Drew's here.
Mhm.
You know?
He just looked. I mean, like everything about him. Like he just had a different essence from his
Oh, yeah.
first run.
Oh, yeah. Like, you can tell he had definitely evolved, you know, as a wrestler.
Well,
Leaning into SummerSlam.
this was one of my first candidates for match of the year, but the Usos and the New Day put on a clinic.
I would have agreed with you on their SummerSlam match had they not done their Hell in the Cell match.
Mm-hmm.
If this was the only Usos versus New Day match this year, sure, fuck yeah, match of the year, definitely hands down. They topped themselves with the Hell in the Cell match, though.
The rival, I mean, their feud. If you ask me, it's going to come down to when they finally do like the Pro Wrestling Illustrated and stuff like that for feuds and stuff of the year. It's going to come down between Omega and Okada, and then the Usos and the New Day.
Oh yeah.
If it wasn't for like, okay, Okada Omega 1 and 2, brilliant, but Okada Omega 3 to me wasn't as spectacular as the other two.
I think Okada versus Omega will win just because of how much it changed people's viewing of the wrestling landscape at the time.
Yeah.
I think that's the only reason it's going to win over the New Day versus Usos.
For my pick, though, I'm gonna have to go with the Usos and the New Day just because of the rivalry that they had. Now, despite them, like what we said earlier about swapping the belts back and forth, they told a story every time they got in the ring.
Oh yeah, they did. One of the best segments they ever did was the rap battle.
The rap battle was brilliant. Oh my gosh.
Okay, the rap battle proved that you could still do kind of a lighthearted, like fun promo and still make it interesting. You know, WWE has this problem of when they try to do like comedic kind of like skits or whatnot,
Right.
it always just coming off very cringy. But if you give it with people who actually know what the fuck they're doing, it becomes really good. Like that's the reason why I think the Fashion Files work so well is because you're giving it with two people who actually know and can write, really good stuff.
Right. And
You know?
then the fact that they, every now and then let a little bit of kayfabe come in with the whole Page scandal, which we'll get into later,
Yeah.
and Xavier Woods being involved in that. That was the line of the little rap battle. That was
That was hands down like my roast of the year was when I think it was Jimmy who mentioned you can be rated R,
yeah.
unlike your boy Xavier Woods, and I'm just like done.
That was definitely a
I'm
mic drop
done.
right there.
Even Wale was like, okay, I'm done, boys.
That
We can go home now.
was brilliant. Oh man. Um,
But it wasn't just that. Like SummerSlam, I think this year was a really good pay per view
mhm.
because Natalia finally won.
Finally put some respect on her name.
Yeah. The Boss finally won.
Yeah, but we know what happened the next night.
Yeah, I know. That's Rollins and Ambrose. Oh my God, that was just a great build-up with the two of them.
Hmm.
Of finally getting back the Shield. Of like, well, Rollins wouldn't do the fist bump, and then Ambrose wouldn't do the fist bump, and then finally they do the bump, and then the crowd the pop is just huge.
Yeah.
You know. And then Braun Strowman, of course, being Braun Strowman.
I really thought Strowman was gonna win that match, man. Like he took Lesnar out single handedly. Put him
Yeah,
not
but
one, but two tables.
yeah, but then I also realized this is Brock, and they don't really have. This is Brock, and they're not really that keen on like putting the title away off of him just yet, you know.
Mm.
But it was still a great match, and I mean, it wasn't just a great. It was like Braun. It was great that Braun took out Brock so early because then you could have the chemistry of Joe, Reigns, and Braun fighting together.
Hmm.
You know. Then moving into September.
Did you watch the Mae Young Classic?
I watched matches. I didn't watch the whole thing because I'm like, I ain't you gonna see. I got burned before with like your with the UK earlier that year because I watched all the UK thing,
Mm.
and like other than the Pete Dunne and Tyler Durden match at the end, I was like, no, I'm good. I ain't sitting through this whole thing again.
I didn't watch any of it because I already knew the outcome. There was nobody else that was on a star level than Kyrie Hojo.
Hojo, her match with Shayna Baszler was great though.
Mm.
I like that. That was great. And then it was Baszler versus I forgot who else, but it was like in the first or second round. Was a really good match. I didn't know who Kyrie Hojo was. Okay,
I didn't know
but
who
I
she was either, but as soon as they started talking about her, I looked her up, and the first thing that came up was her, the most spectacular, beautiful elbow drop I've ever
oh oh
seen.
oh, you gotta slow that bitch
Oh yes,
down. It is
yes,
perfection.
yes, it is. Never, ever have I ever seen a beautiful elbow drop
Ooh.
than that one.
Like there are only very few people that can master like the basics of moves. Like Edge to me has pretty much mastered the spear. The
Hmm.
spear is not a very powerful move, but if you can somehow make it your own like Edge did,
Hmm.
you know, I'm okay with it. She perfected something which is very simple, an elbow drop. Okay, a lot of high flyers do elbow drops. But Kyrie Sane does an elbow drop like you ain't ever seen someone do an elbow drop
Oh
before.
yes, oh
The
yes.
height she gets.
The thing that initially pissed me off though was the fact that they WWE was actually going to make her change her finishing move because Bailey was using the elbow drop.
No. Fuck no. Where do you think Bailey got the drop from?
Because she was on her kick then, where she was imitating all the older wrestlers, Ultimate Warrior and Macho Man, and who else?
No.
There was a couple other people she was imitating. So she started using the elbow drop as her finisher to
No,
pay
dude.
homage to Macho
No,
Man.
dude. You're not going to change Kyrie Sane's elbow drop considering she does it better than anybody in the game.
Exactly, exactly.
You know? like I said, that would be like telling Edge, all right, you need to change your finisher from the spear. No.
I don't get it.
No.
But Ring of Honor had Death Before Dishonor.
I'm going to be honest. I didn't watch Death Before Dishonor.
I didn't get a chance to get to it either.
No. So I am happy the Motor City Machine Guns are still in fucking work.
I know, right?
Like I read that and I'm like, oh shit, the Motor City Machine Guns are still in work.
Yeah. I didn't even get to watch that match either. I think I'll probably go back and watch it though.
Yeah, I will too because they're fighting the Young Bucks, so you know it's at least going to be an interesting match.
Exactly.
You know.
They're definitely an awesome tag team, man. Even in TNA, just the chemistry that Chris Sabin and Alex Shelley have as a team
is great. Oh, dude, it makes some of the most greatest high flying tag team action you're ever gonna see.
Yes. And then Cody
beating Suzuki.
Suzuki from New Japan, and it came over. I think Suzuki at the time was the never openweight champion, if I'm not mistaken. But Suzuki also fought Okada earlier in the month, and
Suzuki's also had a really good year too because he's fought in Okada, he's fought in Cody. Mm-hmm. I don't think he's fought in Omega.
I think he did fight Omega. It was in one. I think he fought Omega in one of the G1 Climax matches.
But he's had a really good year.
He really has.
You know.
And he was a former MMA.
Yeah, he was.
Actually, are former MMA. So he in that match with Okada, especially, he was putting on a lot of different holds, knee bars.
Oh yeah, he was.
Guillotine chokes and everything.
Then over on the state side, we had over in WWE we had No Mercy.
No Mercy. Now, the match may have not been as spectacular, but all their promos were awesome.
The Reigns versus Cena match, yeah. The match itself, it's not going to topple the Styles versus Cena match at Royal Rumble. That to me is still the better the match. But you're right. The promo work, it actually made me interested in Roman Reigns.
They had to do it though, man. Roman hadn't caught a decent did a decent promo in his whole entire career.
Because here's the thing, Roman's not good with promos.
No.
I'm gonna be honest. Like what made him so good with the Shield back in TNA was the fact that Roman Reigns, don't you have something to say? If I have something to say, I'm going to say it. Roman worked well as the silent dude who just got shit done. Right. You know? Because when he actually fucking had to do promo work, it was bad.
Speaking of that, I had almost forgot about this. You remember the night after WrestleMania, after he defeated The Undertaker, and he came out and just stood in the ring to that massive heat? And all he said was, "This is my yard." If they would have done that with Roman from the beginning, I swear to you, he'd have been so over.
If they had done Roman with that from the beginning, he would be in a totally different mind ball field. Exactly. You know, but they didn't. They kept trying to force him down our throat. If they had done something big like he did then, cool. Because that's all Roman had to do. That's all he had to do. You didn't have to do any promo work. You didn't have to get anything done. All you literally had to say was what you did. Said, "This is my yard now," and then just walk away. You did. I don't even think he had a match that night.
I don't think he did either. That was it.
I think that was it. I think it was just him to come out to say, "This is my yard now. Hate me. Bye." But one of the best. I love the Cena and Reigns promo because one of the best lines that Cena comes out. And what cracks me up to this day, and he's like, y'all don't even have to boo me this time. Roman's burying himself. I'm like, John, you know. Y'all don't even have to say anything this time. Roman's burying himself. You know?
Strowman got another shot at Brock Lesnar. Once again, he dominated the match, but Lesnar escaped with the one F5.
Which, like I said, they're building up the F5 of being this did not like one all be all move, which is why I'm not looking forward to Royal Rumble with Strowman, Kane, and Lesnar.
Nope.
I'm honestly not, because like I know what's going to happen. It's going to be they're gonna knock Brock out. Brock's gonna powder for a bit, and while Kane and Strowman pretty much beat up for a bit, Then Lesnar's going to come in with an F5 and just either on Kane or Strowman. Probably Kane because they don't want to ruin Strowman's build yet. So probably F5 Kane and then win. So, and then
gruesome things I've seen in a long time.
But even though it was gruesome, it was a great match. Was the Bar versus Rollins and Ambrose, who, I must say, throughout this whole year of them constantly clashing, they keep trying to. They were like the Raw version of Usos in the New Day. They kept always one-upping each other and trying something new. You know? But yeah, man, Cesaro losing his front teeth. Oh, and like the worst part about it was there was that shot that they kept trying to play back of when he got his teeth smashed in. He got it. He kind of like came through like the second rope and just did like a big teethy grin towards the camera, and you could just see like the blood just kind of pouring out. And I was like, it was bad. It was a great match.
This year, though. He really has.
Yeah.
From it wasn't during this one. I think it was during the SummerSlam match when he jumped in the crowd and popped the beach ball.
I applauded. I'm like, thank you.
Cesaro has been so brilliant this year.
Oh my God. I wish I was there at SummerSlam. I would have shook his hand. Thank you, fine sir, for doing what I've wanted to do for years. Right. Oh my God. And then like a week later, they ended up banning beach balls. Leading into October, which October was a very interesting year. Started with a viral infection for Wyatt, Dallas, and Reigns.
And JoJo got it too.
And JoJo, yeah.
Well, I know how JoJo got it. I know how Dallas got it. I don't know how Reigns got it though. The mumps.
Or how Wyatt got it.
Somebody contracted it first. I think it was Bo Dallas that contracted it first. Since Bo Dallas was maybe around Bray Wyatt, Wyatt got it, and of course Wyatt gave it to JoJo since they're together.
But that led to the crash booking of TLC. But before TLC, we had Hell in a Cell, which I don't know how you felt about Hell in a Cell, but besides the Usos match, which to me topped their SummerSlam match, and the last 10 minutes of the of the Owens versus Shane match, I thought Hell in a Cell was okay.
Yeah, it was okay.
It wasn't great. It wasn't good. I just thought it was okay. Like the tag team Hell in a Cell match was fucking great. Like, that was an awesome match. Highlight of the match to me was when they got, I think it was Jimmy in the corner with the kendo sticks, and then they just kept wailing on him. But to me, that was highlight. And then Big E in rage mode, where he just pretty much took out everybody.
Yeah. It was crazy. And Kofi just had to sit there and watch it all, especially when they hung...
Yeah, Xavier Woods with the handcuffs. And they just whacked him with kendo sticks. But yeah, other than that, and then just the Shane thing, because the Corbin versus Styles match, even if for being a Styles match, really wasn't that good. And I didn't care about Benjavals defeating the Hype Bros. That's what seriously, like that's what kind of my internet group is kind of calling Chad Gable and Shelton Benjamin Benjavals. But
American Alpha 2.0.
No, I call them Benjavals. They are not American Alpha. They are not American Alpha.
But yeah, can we all agree that Sami Zayn makes an excellent heel though?
Oh yes. Oh God, yes. Zayn makes a great heel because he's working with Kevin Owens, and those two work so well together. Right. You know.
And it's just that that in your face type heel thing, like.
Oh yeah, it is. It's that. It's that I'm better than you. It's that I'm going to mock my old entrance as I'm coming down the ring kind of heel.
Yeah.
You know? My biggest problem with Zayn and Owens is, and because we'll get to it when we eventually we'll get to next month, and we'll get to when we get to TLC, is how they're building up the whole outcome with Zayn and Owens and Shane, and that they're trying to make Shane seem like the good guy, and he's not.
Yeah.
Okay. Speaking of that, let's go into TLC.
Well,
You
Asuka
got
finally debuted on the main roster.
about damn time,
Yeah.
and it's only a matter of time before they give her a belt.
Hmm.
Enzo, Davida, Callisto. No one gave a shit. No one cares. No one cares about the cruiserweights. That's the sad part. Like they need to do something to spice up the cruiserweights to, you know, to have people care.
So for a long time, they've been talking about, well, the internet, the IWC, have been talking about maybe they should bring Rey Mysterio back and put him in the cruiserweight division.
Yeah, well, people want Ray in WWE so bad,
Yeah.
you know, and from like what I've heard, Vince would be totally okay with it because it's not like Ray left on a bad note. He still left in good arms, in good standing with the company, you know.
Yeah. I think they eventually had worked that deal out because at first they was holding him hostage
Yeah.
because of his injury, and he wanted out, and they wouldn't give it to him.
No. And then there was his contract with Lucha Underground,
Hmm.
you know, but that show eventually got done. So he's pretty much just a free agent,
Yep.
and then led to one of the two changes matches. The first one being Bray Wyatt being switched out with AJ Styles,
Hmm.
which is just a great match.
It was a really great match, which
It was an
there was a
especially
reason
great match
for.
because that means we didn't have to sit through Sister Abigail and Pumpkin King. Oh boy, if we had to sit through that, I would have. Guys, why?
First of all, whose idea was it for Bray to dress as Sister Abigail? That's
I
what I
don't
want to
know.
know. Whoever that was, that guy should be fired
Tired.
on the spot.
Because
Um,
here's the thing, I liked it better when there was the possibility because there was a rumor around of it being like a person from like NXT, like a
mhm.
female from like NXT or a female from like the independent scene of possibly being Sister Abigail, you know? And like, and the joke was with Snark was like, well, they're not. I mean, unless it's like Bray Wyatt and drag, which let's be honest, they would never do something as stupid as that.
They probably would have him looking like the little ghost from Insidious with the
Huh.
wedding dress.
I don't, oh, but not even that. It would have been Bray Wyatt and drag versus Finn as the Pumpkin King. Which once again, whoever thought of that idea
Yeah,
needs to be fired.
exactly. Um, Hold on, it's insane.
Yeah.
Originally, people thought that Nikki Cross was going to get called up, and she was going to be Sister Abigail.
I would have been okay with that.
And then I heard rumors of Rosemary as well.
Rosemary, I would have loved. I would have loved if Rosemary was Sister Abigail because I like Rosemary. I really do.
Hmm.
I think she's been a lot better than she was when she originally debuted.
I'm still
Um,
trying to figure out what was the whole deal with Sexy Star in that match with Rosemary when she went off script and stuff.
I knew the answer to that. I can't remember.
Like she got a
Uh,
lot of heat from the entire wrestling community for that. Like you had people from WWE even commenting like you don't do that.
uh, the highlight of the AJ Styles versus Balor match was the Two Sweet Bullet Club handshake at the end.
Yeah,
That got a huge ass pop.
yeah, it did.
You know.
And then Roman, since he had the mumps as well, got out. The cheesiest thing before the match even started was the Shield coming out in their traditional entrance and Kurt popping out from the back,
I
looking like a
laughed.
10-year-old
I laughed
kid.
my ass off because here comes Kurt Angle in full Shield gear with this big dumbass smile on, like, "Hi guys, I'm here. I'm part of the Shield."
Oh man, like I was looking for
I
the
laughed
wrestling
my
machine
ass
at
off.
that point,
Like, I
not
mean,
Kurt
it looked
Angle.
like someone's dad trying to fit in with the kids, and it also made you go, "Kurt, what are you doing here? You're not supposed to be playing with the Shield."
Wow.
I don't like it because it also ruined the potential of Angle possibly returning. You know,
Mhm.
it ruined the build up for that.
I mean, we
Here's the
know.
thing: I would be okay with that. Kurt Angle, yeah, made me laugh, but that wasn't the funniest thing out of this entire match. The funniest thing that literally made me had to pause the pay per view, go back and rewind it, was when they threw Strowman's ass in a dumpster truck, and then just like proceeded to crush him. I'm like, guys, come on now,
Why does everybody want to kill
take
Braun
this
Strowman?
serious.
That's what I'm trying to figure out. First, Roman tries to end, end his life with a semi truck.
What is your fascination with killing Braun Strowman?
Exactly. Now Kane tries to crush him to death in a garbage truck.
Oh God.
Wrestling's so
But
silly.
that wasn't even the worst part. The worst part out of that entire feud was the Monday following, where he comes out of the garbage truck and rises like the
Right?
damn Terminator. I'm like, okay, guys, come on now. Let's take this shit serious. I get it. Like, there's a bit of cheesiness and theater to all this, but come on, man.
Yeah. That was funny too.
He's gonna rise like a Terminator and just scream his name. I'm like, come on, guys. It's when you want to kind of post a meme like wrestling is serious business, guys. We take this serious.
Oh man.
But
Well, in in November we had
November
a New
with
Japan Power Struggle.
which built into one of my most anticipated matches of 2018,
Mhm.
Omega versus Jericho.
I can't remember who Omega defended the belt against that night, but immediately after, Jericho pops up on the Titantron and challenges Kenny Omega to a match for the U.S. Championship at Wrestle Kingdom 12.
Which that's going to be so much fun because I've also paid attention to the promo work after that
Mm-hmm.
of Jericho in New Japan, and I love New Japan Jericho.
Yeah.
Like he's, I think Dave Meltzer put it best is like if you're watching Jericho in New Japan, you have to realize this is not WWE Jericho.
Nope.
Okay,
He has more freedom.
he has more freedom. Like if when he first showed up in New Japan, not on the Titantron, but actually there,
Mm-hmm.
in his first moment, he busses open Kenny Omega with the belt,
Mm-hmm.
you know, and then literally Code Breakers, I think one of the managers of New Japan,
Yeah.
you know, and then takes out one of the announce team,
Mm-hmm.
you know. So it's like this is not WWE Jericho, okay? You need to realize that.
And then Omega tried to attack him at the press conference.
Conference, I know, and like their build ups, it's so good.
Yeah. And if that's not enough for you to order or see Wrestle Kingdom 12, like they have a nice card so far. They have a triple main event.
Wait, isn't Omega in 2 matches that night?
Uh, um,
I think he is because he's in with both Jericho. And I think he's in. I think because someone else I think earned a shot. Yeah, he faces Nitro. He faces Naito, and he faces. Oh no, Naito faces Okada. Yeah, sorry, I keep thinking Naito faces Omega. No, it faces Okada.
yeah, Naito faces Okada, then it's Omega, Jericho, and then Cody fights Kota Ibushi.
Ibushi. Oh yeah, that's a that's a stacked card.
Yeah,
That's a stacked card.
and I'm sure the Young Bucks will have a match and whoever
Yeah,
else.
Young Bucks are going to have somebody probably for their titles. And then finally, the last of TNA, Bound for Glory.
Yeah, what in your ranking? Where would you put Gail Kim on the greatest woman wrestler of all time?
It's hard because I like Gail Kim. I do. Um, I'm happy she's retired. Uh, I would put her with people like Lita or Michelle McCool, people like of the old of like the 2003 to like 2008 era of women's wrestling who could actually wrestle, you know. And it's not like the more the diva stuff, the people who could actually wrestle,
Right.
like more the women you see nowadays. But it was back in that era to where there was a lot more freedom and liberty, like Lita, who did a lot more like high flying stuff, you know. That's kind of where I would stick Gail Kim, because Gail Kim evolved a lot with the knockout division. She kind of changed knockout division in TNA.
Yeah. It's a shame that they didn't use her more effectively in WWE because as soon as she
No,
got
but
to
I don't. But then
TNA,
again,
she showed all her
WWE,
skills.
WWE. She also debuted at a time to where if you weren't hot, they didn't really know what to do with you.
Right.
Like if Gail Kim debuted now, oh hell yeah, she'd be good. But she debuted at a time to where if you weren't pretty or if you weren't hot, they didn't really know what to do with you. Like if you came there to actually wrestle, what the hell are you doing in WWE?
Hmm.
You know?
And it's sad that it got to a point like that where it was
Yeah.
just all about bra and panties matches and nothing else.
No, for God's sakes, the title was literally called the Divas title.
Hmm.
Like it took the four horsemen of the WWE to pretty much be like, they ain't divas, man. We're actually wrestlers.
Exactly.
You know?
And then Johnny Impact debuted, but he still lost to Eli Drake.
I just I stopped, man. Like I'm think I'm kind of done. Like I think this might actually be my last year with TNA. Like y'all had a good run, but I don't see you staying open for much longer. Really don't.
Yeah.
Like I'll check in every now and then to see how you're doing, but I've got other shit to watch now, you know.
Right.
Y'all made a lot of really good stars, but most of them are either gone or they're on the indie scene. So, see ya.
John Morrison just eventually needs to make his way back to WWE.
I think he will. I think he will. But he's busy on like the independent scene, shooting like low budget action movies.
Hmm.
Morrison will, yes, eventually make his way back to WWE. You know, I think he wants to. Honestly, you know, he just left at a time to where he felt like they really weren't using him, which I don't blame him because they weren't. You know, but now the landscape has changed so much for WWE. He'd work really well in something like NXT.
Yeah.
You know, the Under
SmackDown
Siege stuff.
Under Siege.
What did you think about Under Siege?
I thought it was entertaining. It's been a while since we've seen like a hostile takeover um, during an episode. I think the last relevant thing I can remember is when the Nexus
Yeah.
debuted.
Um, I liked it. I liked the pump fake with the New Day.
Hmm.
That was good. My problem is with Under Siege is that I think Raw waited too long.
Yeah.
You know, like okay, sure, even if Raw didn't attack immediately that following night, okay, because it wouldn't seem too obvious. They should have at least kind of retaliated the following week.
Right.
You know, them waiting till the final week before Survivor Series.
They beat the crap out of Shane McMahon too.
Oh god, I was so happy because that reminded Kurt Angle from like his main event Mafia kind of style
Yeah.
of just kind of do it, take him
Uh-huh.
now. You know,
Um, and then I know I didn't put it down here, but before Survivor Series and stuff even happened, Jinder Mahal was forced to fight AJ Styles for the WWE Championship in Manchester
and lost.
and lost.
Hmm. And I think there's a couple of reasons I think why. Mostly because WWE realized people weren't going to pay the Survivor Series card with Jinder versus Brock, so they quickly changed it to Styles versus Brock. Also because do you remember the Paul Heyman promo on Jinder Mahal?
Hmm.
Paul Heyman in one promo buried Jinder Mahal
Yes, he
to where
did.
it was like, there's no way you can take this shit seriously.
Nah.
You know, Paul Heyman literally comes out with saying, like anybody else, I do my normal shtick. I
Hmm.
promote the beast, I promote my opponent, but I still, in the end, say they're going to get crushed by my client. But Jinder Mahal, come on, guys. I can't work magic here. You know,
I don't even think who even. I don't even know why they even considered it. Like, how in what universe would you ever see Jinder Mahal even coming close to even beating, even having a decent match? It would have been just like, I mean, Brock would have toyed with him the whole time, obviously, but it would have been
oh
just like
no, I don't think Brock would have.
uh,
I think Brock would have been so pissed about the fact that really this is my match. He just would have crushed Jinder and just, well, it's over. You thought Goldberg versus Brock for that 5 minutes was bullshit? Imagine a 2 minute champion versus champion match.
right.
Brock just would have suplex. Singh brothers would have interfered, suplex them, F5, done.
He probably would have seriously hurt one of them. Probably would have German suplexed them into the ring.
I would have Brock would have German suplexed them into the crowd. You want to interfere? Okay, or I'll show you how to interfere.
Well, moving on to one of the better NXT pay per views of the year with War Games. They brought the War Games concept back.
I'm they brought it back. Would you have been okay if because their thing was that the rumor was they would have tried to have gotten Cody to come back because War Games was the creation by Dusty Rhodes.
Hmm.
And Michael Eisner, who pretty much was creating the idea of War Games, totally sent out a tweet and was like, "Hey, if you want to, doors open. You know,
Right.
if you want to come back for one night, sure. Your brother's going to be there. It was made by your father. You
Hmm.
know, we're not going to take care of that legacy. Would you have been cool if? What would you have thought of if Cody did come back?
I don't think Cody should have came back because it would have been too soon for him. He needs to establish himself a little bit more on the independent scene before he decides to make a venture back to WWE. They even tried to get him for the lesser known Starcade paper little. I can't even call it a pay per view because it wasn't seen.
House show.
It was house show. So they tried to get him to come back for that as well. But I think Cody's content where he's at right now because he knows if he comes back too soon, they probably might even make him dub a Stardust gimmick again.
Yeah, I like the Stardust gimmick. They just didn't know what the fuck to do with it.
It was great in the beginning, but it started
Yeah.
to weather
Yeah.
as soon as he started teaming up with like the Ascension and stuff.
Yeah,
They got
yeah,
off a
no,
good start on
it's
it.
like I said, they had no idea what the fuck to do with it.
Uh,
Like when it was him and Dusty with Stardust and Gold Dust, yeah, it was great.
hmm.
But the actual War Game pay per view itself, um, the show opens with show opens with I
It
think
was
it
the
was
Aleister
Amber
Black.
Moon.
It was the Aleister Black match.
Alistair, oh yeah, because I can't, I forgot if it was Amber Moon or if it was Alistair Black that opened the show.
And that match actually got match of the night, in my opinion.
Yeah, to me that's my match of the night. Everybody's match of the night was either a toss up between the actual War Games match or Black versus Velveteen Dream.
Hmm.
To me, it was Black versus Velveteen Dream because the reason why I think it is because it in one match instantly made me a fan of Velveteen Dream.
Hmm.
Like I already was a fan of Aleister Black, but I wasn't really there with Velveteen Dream. I think I even told you the man to me reminded me of Prince, but walked like David Bowie.
Hmm.
But in one match, it instantly won me over. I'm like, okay, I'm a fan now. I am a fan.
Yeah, I agree. Same here. Because
You
I
know,
didn't take the gimmick seriously either, but he
no,
showed that he can hang.
yeah, he can hang. The highlight for the match for me was when Black was sitting in the middle of the ring, and he just saying like, "Say my name." All right, you're not going to? Then I'm going to do exactly what you do. And Black just copied him, and then the look on his face, like, "Oh shit!"
Yeah, that was
Yeah,
awesome.
like that was to me that was match of the night.
Yeah,
And even at the end, where Aleister Black eventually did say, "Yeah, enjoy Infamy, Velveteen Dream."
right.
Yeah,
Um, the Ember Moon match, her finally winning the championship. Eh, I
I
mean,
think it's about time.
yeah.
You know,
Um, I
I think the best moment out of that match was having Asuka actually give it to Amber Moon.
yeah.
You know, to me, that was the best moment.
Mm,
I mean, the actual match itself was,
yeah.
you know,
I mean, they didn't really have the only two real workers. I mean, well, not two, three, because Peyton Royce. I don't understand how she keeps finding herself into these matches.
God no.
It'd have been better if it was just a triple threat match with Kari Hojo.
Hojo. Because Kyrie Hojo proved work, and Nikki Cross is really good,
Hmm.
you know.
So
But
they were
yeah,
teasing
Penn
Peyton
Royce,
Royce
what the?
stealing the match with her buddy on the outside, kept helping her.
No. And then the action, and then Andrea Cien Almas versus Drew McIntyre, which was a good match. I'm gonna be honest.
I believe, and I know a lot of other people do. I believe they switched the finish of this match when McIntyre got hurt.
They did. They did. I'm telling you, yes, they did. Because yeah, I think McIntyre was supposed. I'm 95% sure McIntyre was supposed to win, but because of the fact that he got injured during the match and told the ref, they kind of crash course switched it.
Hmm.
Yeah, because if McIntyre get interesting, oh yeah, there because I think they wanted to continue to build this rivalry with Andre. You
Hmm.
know, but McIntyre got injured, which I'm trying to remember what spot it was that got him injured.
They said it was something else, but to me, when I was watching it, I thought is when he did that little grapevine of his arm when he was tied up in the ropes and he was
Yeah,
hanging from it. It felt like he pulled his bicep at
probably
that
it probably was.
because you
It
heard
probably
McIntyre.
was.
McIntyre like cussed out loud and
Yeah,
like really gripped
yeah. No,
his
I guarantee you it was because I think I know I think it actually was. 'Cause I think I was watching an interview afterwards of him talking about the injury,
mm-hmm,
and he pretty much stated like I was caught up in the ropes and I heard a pop,
mm-hmm,
and knowing that my mental state of how I've gotten injuries before, I knew that was not a good sound,
mm-hmm.
you know. So being that he has been hurt before in that same area, he kind of knows, yeah, that's not good.
So when he eventually returns, what do you think they're going to do with him? You think they're going to put him back in NXT or bring him to the main roster?
I think they'll do one more NXT run, then yeah, bring to the main roster,
Um, yeah.
and then finally the War Games match in and of itself.
Mm-hmm. Undisputed Era, man.
Undisputed Era, Adam Cole, baby.
Mm-hmm.
Not there's two highlights of that where it's I think it's one of the dudes from Undisputed Era. I forgot who it was. When he takes, I think it's Young. No, it's someone from Sanity, but I'm thinking he's taking either Adam Cole or one other member from Undisputed Era, and he takes him and he German suplexes off the top rope,
Mm.
and he busts himself open on the back of the table.
Yeah.
Yeah, that was vicious. And then when the Authors of Pain did the double corkscrew like power bomb, and
Mm-hmm.
Adam Cole's just standing up there because he's sitting up there because he realizes what the hell's going on.
Right.
Because he's like, "This is a botch. I was supposed to go with them," and he's just kind of looking at them like, "Well, I'm just gonna sit here and act like I'm hurt until someone comes up here and does the spot."
Right.
You
It was
know?
just weird seeing Roderick Strong with the Authors of Pain.
Yeah, it was. Star definite highlight of that whole match was Killian Dame,
Oh yes.
who pretty much just crushed everybody.
I think they're just biding their time on him to to the point that they can finally break him out of sanity and make him a star down in
Yeah,
NXT.
yeah. Killian Dane was just destroying everybody who came into his way.
Right. Because he definitely was that missing piece. That's the thing about it.
Yeah,
Because they had um,
like
the other dude at first, Sawyer Fulton, but
yeah,
it wasn't just it wasn't the gimmick wasn't getting over with the way they had it.
no. And honestly, that was all the match was missing. Like they had the spots, they had like the high flyers and whatnot. They needed that one monster to where if you just said go, he just destroys everything until like it takes like a big power spot of like the whole group just kind of like take him down.
Right.
You
When do you
know,
think the authors of pain will get called up?
probably soon.
And what show?
Honestly, they've been there long enough.
Mm.
Um, honestly, probably soon. Here's my whole thing: when they get called up, do you think they'll go to SmackDown or Raw?
Hmm.
Because I think because DIY went to SmackDown, so my guessing was they would probably go to Raw because Raw really doesn't have that many good tag teams.
They probably will go to Raw.
You know, because Raw's honest tag division has been nothing but the Bar and the Shield for like the past month.
Well, they wanted to push a revival, but both of them kept getting hurt. And
Yeah,
Ash Wilder just finally came back, so now they're gonna
that
have to write them into a storyline somewhere.
storyline somehow. So yeah, so they'll probably do the revival. Johnny Gargano is still in NXT because the other dude's hurt, so they're not going to pull up DIY. So yeah, they'll probably do Authors of Pain to Raw because SmackDown's good. SmackDown has your four. You have Usos, New Day, Benjables, and Aiden English and Rusev. Rusev Day, which is so over.
Mm-hmm.
It's just a matter of time before they give English and Rusev the belts because Rusev Day is so over. So
Well, during Survivor Series, Team Raw defeated Team SmackDown 4-3. Sami Zayn and Kevin Owens pretty much is the ones that caused it.
okay, no, I hate that. I hate how SmackDown's trying to portray the Survivor Series and how it's Zayn's and Owens that cost Team SmackDown the match. No, it's not Dingleberry. It's Triple H. Triple H cost SmackDown and Raw the match.
Yeah.
You know, it's like it's not like they're trying to make Shane seem like the good guy, but he's not. Okay, Owens and Zayn in kayfabe are the ones that are actually right.
Mm-hmm.
But because it's Shane McMahon, no, they're supposed to be the bad guys.
Mm-hmm.
It's like, no, it's not. It's Triple H who caused SmackDown's shot because he pretty much turned on Angle, who then turned on him, who then Braun then turned on him, which was the best moment of Braun just screaming in his face, "Don't you ever do that again!"
Which
And just the look on his face.
I think that's actually going to be the match at WrestleMania for Braun is Braun versus Triple H.
Well, the match is either Braun versus Triple H or Kurt Angle versus Triple H.
Yeah, I heard that one too. But who
You
would
know,
Braun face then if he wouldn't face Triple H?
they could always throw Braun into the Andre the Giant Battle Memorial.
I hope they don't.
I don't know.
He was in it last year when Corbin won.
True.
I honestly hope they do not.
I don't. But here's the thing: if they don't, I honestly have no idea who they would throw him up against. They're not going to throw him up against Roman because Roman's saved for Lesnar. They could probably throw him up against Joe because Joe hasn't found anybody, and Braun is super. They're trying to make Braun babyface now, so you could throw him up against Joe. Damn sure don't throw him up against Kane. Nobody wants to see Roman versus Kane. All right, so probably Joe. That's my thing. If it's not Hunter, if they do go Triple H versus Angle, probably Joe. Because the whole reason I could see Angle versus Triple H is finally pulling the gun on turning Jordan official heel.
Yeah.
You know, which they're building up to Jordan being a heel, but that would be like the final pull on the trigger of Jordan is officially a heel. You know,
Well, guys, we finally made it to the month of December. I know this is
in
a
this
2 hour
long ass
video.
video,
And still going.
this 2 hour long video.
um, probably, I was thinking about live streaming it, honestly. That probably may have been better.
Maybe I don't know, man. We'll learn for 2018.
Well, December started off with Ring of Honor Final Battle, which I watched the entire pay per view, and with Dalton Castle finally getting it done and beating Cody Rhodes, with Cody coming out with that blonde hair.
Oh God. Oh, oh, oh. I did not like that.
Yeah.
See, I didn't watch Final Battle. I've missed the last couple of Ring of Honor pay per views. I did happen to catch the Young Bucks match and Cody's match,
Mm-hmm.
but Cody, oh no,
Yeah.
I did not like the
Didn't like
blonde
him
hair.
at all. Not at all. But before that, man, I really didn't follow like Dalton Castle's journey and stuff like that with the boys.
Hey man, the dude deserved it. It was a great match.
Yeah, it was a great match. Um, then basically all the NXT women's call ups with the Riot Squad, Ruby Riot coming up with the girls.
Okay, so I don't know how you feel about the call ups. I I
The
have
main
issues.
the main reason they did this was because of the Women's Royal Rumble match.
Yes, I will agree with that. Um,
Because whatchamacallit is still fighting down in NXT.
yeah, I know. Oh, I know. And okay, here's the thing. Page and Absolution is good
Mm-hmm.
because that faction is at least led by Paige, who at least has experience behind her. You know. Now the other two's promo skills, y'all motherfuckers need some work. Y'all need some work.
Yeah.
The Riot Squad's fucking terrible. They're just god awful.
But Ruby Riot never really got established down in NXT.
No, they quickly rushed her up, and now that she's in with the people the big girls who actually have experience, she's just getting crushed, both in ring and on promos.
Mm-hmm.
You know, it's proven just how bad she really is and how much of a rush call up this was.
And it really didn't make any sense because her win loss record wasn't even that good either down in NXT.
No. And here's the thing: there was no reason to bring up the Riot Squad. I understand Paige and the Absolution because it was the returning of Paige. There was no reason to bring up the Riot Squad besides, well, Raw did it, so SmackDown has to copy.
I don't know. Well, the Hype Bros broke up. How do you feel?
I don't
about
really
that?
care. I'm gonna be honest. I stopped caring about the Hype Bros. I did.
I was looking.
I mean,
at
I'm happy Mojo's heel. Mojo actually does some pretty good work as a heel, but I stopped caring about the Hype Bros years ago.
Right. I was looking at a guy that was rating all the stuff for the year at the same time, and
Yeah.
I must have missed this promo, but I guess he had cut a promo on Zack Ryder and he posted to Twitter, and it was supposedly awesome. I haven't went back and watched it yet, but they said that was the most awesome thing about the.
Oh yeah. If you read Mojo's heel works on his tweets, it's great. It's good work. I stopped, but here's the thing: I lost interest in Zack Ryder a long time ago. Like I thought, okay, maybe they would have gotten something that WrestleMania when he won the Intercontinental Championship, but then he lost it the next night.
Maybe
So I'm
he has
like,
no faith in him, which he was
no.
one of the top merchandise sellers at the time when the height of his pinnacle started. The reason I liked Zack Ryder so much is the fact that he didn't wait for anybody to make him a star. He went out and did it
Yeah.
himself.
Oh, don't get me wrong. I don't hate Zack Ryder. Okay. I just don't care. But I will praise the man's worth ethic. He went above and beyond just to, well, okay, the company's not going to give me anything. Well, I don't want to leave. So fuck it. I'll work my own way up. You know?
Some of the episodes of Z True Long Island stories that he had on YouTube were awesome. And
Yeah.
he was just like throwing shots at WWE the whole time. Like, this is Zack Ryder. This is Zack Ryder in the boat. This is WWE missing the boat with Zack Ryder. It was crazy, like, but it really got him a fan base up, and WWE caught wind of it, But then they was like, you know what, we're gonna stick it to the fans at the same time. So we'll bring him up for this time being, but we're gonna do everything else to destroy him at the same time. They took over his
We're gonna
YouTube
stick him in a
channel.
feud with Kane.
They took over his YouTube channel. They put the belt on him, but then they overshadowed him with John Cena being his friend. They had Kane throw him off the stage in a wheelchair. They had
That throwing Ryder off. People can say, well, you can't really pinpoint of when something happened or like when an era started or when a moment of someone's downfall, started. You can for Zack Ryder, though. When Kane threw him off the stage with supposedly a broken back, that was the moment where it was like, and he's done.
Yeah. Well, Clash of Champions was this month. Mr. Ziggles, Dolph Ziggler, won the United States Championship, and then relinquished it the next SmackDown Live that they did. Ziggler right now, Ziggler has been my favorite wrestler for a while.
He has. Now, from what I've been reading from behind the scenes, he hasn't quit. Like he's still working like house shows, but he's not going to be on like the main shows. So they're wondering if he's doing like something like behind the scenes, like a Jamie Noble or like a Finlay, where he's working like in the back.
I think they may be trying to reinvent his character, honestly, because Ziggler has been stale this entire year. He hasn't done anything.
No, why do you think he came out with no entrance?
Now the copying, it was kind of entertaining to me.
The copying was great. It was great. Him coming out as the Ultimate Warrior, I laughed my ass off.
And Taker and a couple other people.
Hulk Hogan.
But he was basically put into that jobber role to get debuting superstars over, first with Nakamura and then with Bobby Roode.
Yeah, and then like everyone was wondering, well, why are you just going to throw Ziggler into a United States Championship match than just to have him win? Even Dolph brought that up. Like, y'all were wondering why they just throw me in there. I've proven why I need to be in here.
Right. And the Usos continued their dominance in the Fatal 4-Way Tag Team match against Benjables,
The New Day, and Aiden.
And Rusev Day.
I love Rusev Day so much. It's so over.
Yeah, it is. It really is.
Like one of the best lines was when they did their Christmas Day, like this last week of like, you know what day comes after Christmas? It's Garbage Day. No, it's Rusev Day. I laughed so hard.
And then the main event was Kevin Owens and Sami Zayn versus Randy Orton and Shinsuke Nakamura with the two special guest referees of Daniel Bryan and Shane McMahon.
This match was a mess.
Yes, it was.
But I did like the pairing of Nakamura and Orton. I did. I actually liked that pairing. If they ever go back to that pairing, I'd be okay with that because they worked well together. Of Orton's kind of cold and calculated kind of style and Nakamura's like fiery, like Rochambeau kind of explosion kind of fighting style.
Right.
Right. Like they work well together, surprisingly.
Really
they're obviously leading up to a Bryan versus Shane fight. Especially with as vocal as Daniel Bryan is on interviews on how he wants to wrestle. Like, I'm following a program called Wrestle Talk, and they pretty much do a counter of like 0 fucks Daniel Bryan has given, and the counter's at like negative 55. Like Daniel Bryan has been, he's been more than open. Fuck kayfabe, I want to wrestle. I will go to any doctor, as many doctors as it can be, and I don't care if it's in WWE. I don't care. Ring of Honor has pretty much said you're welcome back to wrestle if need be.
If WWE doesn't finally capitalize on it, they're gonna be in trouble if Daniel Bryan
No.
and hits the independent scene.
And that's the thing is WWE has said that's fine. You can have as many doctors. We're just going to rely on the one main in-house doctor. If he says you're clear, fine. We have no problem building a build around it. If not, sorry, Daniel. You know.
We'll see what happens with that.
But I'm not liking the Zayn and Owens versus Shane because I'm hating the fact that they're trying to build Shane to be the hero in this when he's not. In reality, Zayn and Owens are completely right. But the best part was, do you remember when Daniel Bryan was on commentary, like last week?
Yeah.
I think it was like the build up to Survivor Series. He was on commentary, and he pretty much just roasts Byron Saxton. I love that so much. Like, that's truly that Daniel Bryan doesn't give a shit anymore.
He really doesn't.
He doesn't. He literally tells Saxton, look, here's the thing. I understand what you're doing, and you seem like a good enough guy, but but I have a feeling that you have no idea what the hell you're doing, and you should just keep your mouth shut. I'm like, well, he doesn't care.
Because he knows he's untouchable right now. Like,
oh yeah, he does. He knows he's so over with the fans.
Yeah. He already beat them one time before with the Nexus thing when he was choking Justin Gabriel with his own tie, and the fans outraged and brought him back. So he knows he's untouchable. He's
so over with the fans. He knows that he can pretty much poke Shane like, is that best for business? What are you going to do? You're going to fire him? No. Daniel Bryan's going to be in one of the Hall of Fames this year. They know WWE knows not to piss him off.
Right.
You know? Like, he's a future Hall of Famer.
Well, Clash of Champions was the final pay-per-view of the year, but there was some other news that happened in the month of December with Matt Hardy finally being woken.
I'm happy. I'm so happy. I don't like what they're doing with Bray Wyatt, as all they're kind of doing for the moment is just Titantron videos. You know?
I know Matt Hardy debuted his music at a house show over the weekend, I believe.
Yeah. They also like they want to go into the broken verse, but they don't really want to pull it fully yet. So like they haven't done stuff like Senor Benjamin or Vanguard 1, you know, or King Maxwell. And then it's going to be really weird of when Jeff shows up. Is he Brother Nero?
I'm sure they're
or not?
Him as Brother Nero. They probably
you know?
Will. I don't see why they wouldn't. Hideo Itami finally got to the main roster, but they put him in the Cruiserweight division. How do you feel about that?
I mean, I'm okay with Hideo. You know? I think the sad part is because he was out for most of his NXT run due to injury, any kind of build-up you had on him was kind of taken away.
Yeah.
You know?
You can see that the fans really don't care. They even had him do the GTS in Chicago, and the fans still didn't care.
No, they were chanting CM Punk, which was great because Hideo had a great comeback on Twitter. He's like, no, you need to pay respects to my GTS. Like, who do you think Punk got it from?
Exactly.
You know? Punk was not the creator of the GTS.
A lot of these wrestlers, superstars, aren't the creator of any of their moves. They steal everything from Japan.
Yeah. It's like, that's my GTS.
Exactly.
And the Undisputed Era defeated Sanity.
Yep. On a regular episode of NXT, they become the tag team champions.
It's going to be interesting. I mean, I can see they're trying to build up tag teams because, yes, it's looking like Authors of Pain and are out or soon to be out the door.
Yeah. The thing that I agreed with the most is that they didn't thrust Adam Cole right into the NXT Championship picture. Like they're holding him back until they eventually make him NXT champion because you know it's going to happen.
Yeah. Well, my whole thing is, when do you think someone like Aleister Black is going to become NXT champion?
Well, they have a heel champion right now. The question is, will Johnny Gargano become the next champion?
Probably not. They'll probably want to do a build first
Because he's
with
the number
Andrea.
one contender now since he won the Fatal Four Way at this past NXT that just happened on Wednesday.
Yeah, I know. They'll probably want to do a build with him with Andrea first.
Because I can see it going one of two ways. Either because I don't since since Andrade was never supposed to be champion in the first place, he could be a placeholder right now, and they could put the belt on Johnny Gargano to get that pop, and then have Ciampa come back so they can feud over the title, or Ciampa may come back anyway and screw Johnny out of winning the title.
Yeah, because I think Ciampa's medically clear.
Yeah, I haven't heard anything about Ciampa's condition.
I think he is. I don't know yet, but they're definitely saying they're. The whole reason I don't think they'll pull the trigger on Gargano is because they're waiting for Ciampa to come back to pretty much have that rivalry.
Right.
That's the whole reason I could think that they're not pull the trigger on Gargano.
So maybe if Johnny loses, then maybe Aleister Black may be the next person in line for a shot.
Probably because it would because I don't see anybody else breaking. Like, I see him continuing the streak as a champion.
Mm-hmm.
You know, because like, what are they going to do? They're just going to stick him up against people who he's going to beat.
Right.
To remain undefeated.
I even thought about a possibility that because this is WWE, everything's on the table. They may even do a tag team with Aleister Black and Velveteen Dream.
That'd be interesting.
Um,
It's going to be very interesting to see what they do with Velveteen Dream.
right. Since Alexander Wolf and Eric Young seem to be the tag team for Sanity, I feel like Killian Dane might feud with Lars Sullivan.
Yeah, that's already set up. So the only one that's left is Eric Rowan.
Dean Ambrose got hurt. He'll be out for 9 months.
Well, supposedly 9 months. It could be. You know how WWE is with injuries.
Mm-hmm.
I see him probably being out for Mania.
He'll probably come back. But I don't know. Maybe they'll pull the trigger early. Maybe they won't. Maybe they'll save him to SummerSlam next year.
No, they might save him for like the Raw after Mania because they always want to do like a big show after Mania because there's still that wave of rush.
Yeah.
That's when like call-ups come on and returns come back.
And the final news of
Jordan and Rollins.
Jason Jordan and Seth Rollins winning the tag team championships. And Jordan becoming the first man in WWE to win NXT, Raw, and SmackDown tag team championships.
I don't think they're going to keep the belt on them long. No, they're not.
They can't.
Because they're so busy on turning Jordan heel.
Mm-hmm. Honestly, I'm going to turn Jordan heel back at Survivor Series and have him screw Team Raw.
Yeah, I know. They're so busy on turning Jordan heel. I have no idea when they're going to pull the trigger on that. If anything, I thought they would have won the belt with maybe like Reigns in Rollins, but I don't even know what the fuck Reigns is doing.
Nothing right now.
Yeah, nothing, because they're busy saving him for Brock.
Mm-hmm.
Does Reigns still even have the belt? Because it's been such a long time since I've seen Reigns.
Yeah, he still has the Intercontinental Championship.
So that's what I want to know is who do you think he's going to drop the belt to?
That's a hard question. Now, I don't see it happening, but like I said, anything's possible with WWE. I don't see them giving it to Joe, but
No.
I do maybe, since they're so high on him, see them giving it to the Drifter.
Probably. You know who I want them to give it to? I want them to give it to Balor.
Balor?
Yeah.
Oh my God, they butchered him so bad.
Yeah, because Balor's done this whole campaign because Royal Rumble was supposed to be Brock versus Balor,
Hmm.
but Vince didn't see Balor over enough. So he's done this whole campaign of where I am over, and every word that has like O, V, E, and R, he puts it in big capital letters.
Hmm.
You know?
And Vince doesn't have anybody to blame but himself. If
No.
you keep putting this man way out of marquee matches,
Oh,
he's
Hunter,
facing.
Hunter's beyond Triple H. Hunter is beyond pissed at Vince with the way the NXT calls ups are getting treated.
You have him
You know,
facing freaking Curtis Axel and Bo Dallas and what's his name? Um,
Elias.
no, not Elias. Dang, what is his name? Which one call it that comes out there with the little cane or whatever? That
Oh, shit. I know who you're talking to.
yeah,
I think
that
you're talking about. He's so unforgettable.
Kurt Hawk. No, Kurt Hawkins.
Yeah, Kurt
Kurt Hawkins.
Hawkins,
You have him
who
facing people like that.
who has the record for the longest losing streak in WWE history,
It is
and is
crazy.
proud of it.
It is so crazy. Like if I was him, I'd have never resigned. If you was gonna treat me like this after I
Oh
left the
God,
first time, why would I come back?
dude. Okay, it's not like James Ellsworth where his whole thing was I want to be a certified jobber.
Mm. But all right, guys, we're gonna give you our candidates for three categories: Wrestler of the Year, Match of the Year, and OMG Moment for the year. And then I believe probably in a later video we will reveal who we think won those. So,
For Wrestler of the Year,
Wrestler of the
we
Year.
have Styles, AJ Styles, Okada, Kenny Omega, Braun Strowman, and rounding out the category, we have The Miz.
And do you agree with all those? Is there anybody you think you would take out and add?
Hmm. Uh, the only person I would take probably out is The Miz
Hmm.
because The Miz has had a really good 2017, but I would only say he had a really good 2017 once they put the belt back on him.
Okay.
Um, my only caveat to that is if I take out The Miz, I don't really know who I would replace him with.
All right.
Okay. Like, I would want to say, hmm. Like, cause like everybody that like comes to my head at the time, it's like, yeah, but there was this moment, or yeah, there was this moment.
Mm-hmm.
Like, like I would take out Miz and replace it with Joe. But the problem with Joe is was out for like 6 months,
Mm-hmm.
you know, because everything else Joe did was really good this year.
Yep.
But yeah, other than that, I kind of agree.
Yeah, that was the only person I could think of too. Like the other four were a given, but I couldn't
Yeah.
find that fifth
It's
one.
like it's trying to find that fifth man. It's like, well, okay, even if you look at NXT, like, let's just say Aleister Black. Sure, he's undefeated, but for the most part, it's been jobbers.
Mm-hmm.
You know? The only other person I could really think of is Asuka, but she got injured.
I feel like competition at the same time too, though.
Yeah.
Like if she was on the main roster at the beginning of the year, then yeah, I probably would have put Oscar on it. But competition down in NXT, the only person like she really had was either Nikki Cross or Ember Moon, and she never went one on one against Nikki Cross. It was always in a fatal four way.
Or, I don't know, wait. Didn't she do Cross in the last man standing match? I think
Yeah,
she did. I think
she
she
did.
fought Nikki Cross in the last man standing match.
Yeah.
Yeah. She fought her one on one, and that was a great match. But you're right, competition. But like I said with the Miz, the only thing with the Miz is that uh he only got I think really good once you put the belt back on him
All right.
because that's when he got the Miz Taraj.
That was the whole reason why I put him on the list was the fact that he was the top heel on Raw for
Oh yeah, he
majority of the
was.
year. He had the top belt on Raw for the majority of the year because Brock only showed it when he wanted to.
too. But yeah, other than that, I agree with everybody else.
So for match of the year, we have Okada versus Omega 1 from Wrestle Kingdom 11 for the IWGP Championship. We have Okada versus Omega 2 at Dominion for the same belt. Tyler Bate versus Pete Dunne for the NXT Championship at Takeover Chicago. NXT UAK Championship. AJ Styles versus John Cena for the WWE Championship at Royal Rumble. And Usos versus New Day at Hell in a Cell for the SmackDown Tag Team Championships. And the Authors of Pain versus DIY at Takeover Chicago.
I can kind of agree. This one I can agree with everything on because all these matches were just great.
Yeah.
You know, these were all great matches.
If it wasn't, I'm gonna tell you right now, if it wasn't for Okada and Omega being on this list, it would be kind of hard to pick.
It would.
Um,
Because
yeah.
every match AJ Styles in, okay, well, except for his thing with Jinder was match of the year contender. Like, the only one that I would, if I had to add a sixth match to it, it would be Styles versus Brock at Survivor Series. Just because of the way Brock sold that calf crusher.
Yeah.
You know? Like, I ain't never seen anybody sell the calf crusher like that.
He did sell it.
Yeah. And even Brock's, like, reversal to it was very good. He just took his head and just slammed it on the mat.
Yeah.
You know? I'm like, okay, that was great.
Yeah, that's the way you get out of it.
Yeah. And no one ever thought about that.
I know, right?
Just take his head and just slam it. It's like everyone always tries to go for like the rope break. It's like you can always just take his head and just slam it.
I think that's like Brock's style though, because I don't really ever see him reaching for a
No.
rope. He just
No.
he
Brock's
just
all about
picks you
pure
up and
power.
slams you or whatever.
Yeah. And then the oh my god moment contenders are Strowman flipping the ambulance, Sammy turning heel, Jinder Mahal shocking the world, and Ciampa attacks Gargano.
I don't have a fifth one. I couldn't think of one. Can you?
No, I think that's fine because there really wasn't a lot of like. The only thing I could think of is Shane jumping off of the cell at WrestleMania.
Mm-hmm.
No, not WrestleMania. At Hell in a Cell.
Yeah. The only other one I can probably think of is maybe the Hardy Boys shocking return.
Yeah.
I didn't really want to put that on the list though.
No. But yeah, that's our contenders.
So, like I said, in a future video, we'll probably go over who we thought won, because I'm sure some of them will probably have different opinions on them.
Yeah, I can think of like definitely like we've already had our opinion on the match of the year. We'll probably definitely have a different opinion on the wrestlers or probably the OMG. Because I know we already have it. Because like for both of us for match of the year, it's kind of obvious what it is, you know. But wrestlers and OMG moments going to be very interesting.
Yes, indeed. Well, guys, if you stuck through all the way to the end of this 2 hour and 30-minute video,
first of all, I commemorate you. You are truly doing the channel a service.
Yes, you are. Very much so, and I very much so appreciate it. Cody, would you like to plug any of your networks?
Check out Jimmy D's channel. I'm normally on there until I get the quality funds to upgrade to my original channel. I know we do a series of Knights of the Geek Table where we talk about gaming, nerdy shit like that. We're going to be starting up at the beginning of 2018. Not a lot of people know about this, but because the video hasn't gone live yet. Jimmy D31 and I are going to do a co-op run of Ghost Recon. So that's coming up. I also have an editorial on his channel coming up, so look forward to that.
Awesome. Well, people, Make sure you like, share, subscribe, do all that good stuff. What's next for me?
Well, there's the Rumble in
Yeah,
January.
definitely for the Rumble. We probably be doing a live reaction to it. I don't know if we're gonna stream it yet or not. I said we probably will stream it this time. The other ones are all recorded that we've done, so we may stream it. So look forward to that. Of course, all the plethora of games that's coming out for the 2018 season. But it's been real, guys. Thank you for watching as always. Keep God first, and I will see you next time.